Kamusta? Magandang araw! Samahan niyo akong muli para mag-aaral ng math. Ang pag-aaralan natin ngayon ay tungkol sa mga properties ng real numbers. Tandaan lang natin na yung mga properties na pag-aaralan natin ngayon are true for all real numbers. So, pero ano nga ba yung real numbers? So, yung symbol nito, yung R, capital letter R. Ayan. So, magsimula tayo sa natural numbers or what we call counting numbers. So, ito yung mga numbers na nagsisimula sa 1 and to infinity. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and wala siyang katapusan. Also, kasama sa real numbers yung whole numbers. So, yung whole numbers naman, these are counting numbers including 0. So, pag sinama na natin 0, whole numbers na siya. At wala rin siyang katapusan, no? Starting from 0. Also, kasama din yung integers. So, pag sabi natin integers naman, these are signed numbers, 0, and positive numbers. And also, kasama din yung rational numbers. So, pag sabi natin rational numbers, this include integers, fractions, and decimals, which are terminating at saka repeating. Also, kasama rin dito yung tinatawag nating irrational numbers. So, ito naman yung non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. So, katulad ng value ng pi. So, lahat ng ito, these are all real numbers. At yung property sa pag-aaralan natin, this all applies to this kind of numbers. Yung una nating property ay tinatawag nating closure property, no? Hindi siya masyadong na-mention kasi it's the basic. But I want to share this with you na when you say closure property, ito yung when you add or multiply a real number to another real number, the answer is also a real number. So, of course, no? Again, this is a logical reasoning of it. No? Kapag nag-add tayo ng dalawang real number, automatic na ang sagot ay real number din. So, when we add a plus b, it is real. When we multiply a times b, it's also real. Next we have is the commutative property, or sometimes they read it as commutative property. So, meron tayong commutative property for addition and also for multiplication. No? So, for addition, a plus b equals b plus a. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Na pwede nating i-interchange yung mga addends niya pag nag-a-add tayo. And it does not change the value of it. No? Halimbawa, 3 plus 5, pwede rin siyang 5 plus 3 kasi parehas naman ang sagot nun ay 8. Ganyan din, no? Negative 2 plus negative 3, pwede rin negative 3 plus negative 2. Again, parehas lang ang sagot niya, which is negative 5. And same is true with multiplication. No? So, when we multiply a times b, it's also equal to b times a. Just like when we multiply 2 times 12, so parehas lang siya ng 12 times 2. They are both 24. Also, negative 5 times 3, or 3 times negative 5. So, again, they are both negative 15. So, this is what we call commutative property of addition and of multiplication. Kung saan, kahit na ipagbaliktad natin yung addends niya when we add, or yung factors niya when we multiply, the answer remains the same. Next naman, yung tinatawag nating associative property. So, again, meron tayong associative property para sa addition, at meron din tayong associative property para sa multiplication. So, para sa addition, makikita nyo dito na when we say associative property, so we have 2 or more addends or 3 or more addends. At pwede nating ipag-add ang kahit ano sa kanila, unahin natin, and our answer will still be the same. So, halimbawa, we have 3 plus 2 plus 4 is equal to 3 plus 2 plus 4. So, makikita nyo dito sa left side, nakagrupo yung 2 plus 4. Dito naman sa right side, ang ginrupo naman natin ay yung 3 plus 2. So, pag sinagutan natin yan, yung 2 plus 4, that's 6. And yung 3 plus 2, that's 5. Pero, pag sa dulo, parehas pa rin silang 9. So, again, when we say associative property of addition, kahit anong unahin natin na i-combine, pagsamahin, dun sa mga addends na meron tayo, parehas pa rin ang sagot. Ganon din, no, sa associative property of multiplication, kung saan we could regroup the factors. Pwede nating unahin yung bandang dulo, o unahin natin yung bandang gitna, or nasa unahan. As long as we multiplied all of the factors that are involved, parehas pa rin yung sagot natin. So, katulad nito, so we have 5 times the quantity 2 times 3. Dito naman sa right side, meron tayong 5 times 2 bago natin i-multiply sa 3. So, when we simplify that, so kahit na unahin natin kasi 2 times 3 is 6, 5 times 2 is 10, no? Pero, ganun pa man, when we multiply it to the other remaining factors, parehas pa rin yung ating sagot. So, that's associative property. Again, even in addition or in multiplication, it means na kahit ano yung i-regroup mong addends or factors, as long as you add the entire set of addends or you multiply the entire set of factors, your answer will still be the same. So, next naman is yung distributive property. So, when we say distributive property, it's actually multiplication over addition or over subtraction, no? Kung saan pwede nating i-distribute yung factor dun sa i-add or sa addends natin. O, para mas malinaw, let's have an example. So, we have 3 times the quantity 5 plus 4. So, pwedeng i-add muna natin yung 5 plus 4, or pwede rin naman na i-distribute na natin. That's why distributive property. Yung 3 sa labas ng parenthesis. So, we have to multiply it to the addends sa loob, no? So, pag sinimplify natin to, makikita natin na 5 plus 4 is 9. Pero dun sa right side, nakita natin na multiply muna natin 3 times 5, which is 15. And then 3 times 4 is 12. Pero when you simplify that further, pakita natin na parehas lang ang sagot. 3 times 9 is 27, and 15 plus 12 is also 27. So, distributive property is option natin yon, whether i-distribute muna ba natin yung nasa labas ng parenthesis, o i-simplify muna natin yung nasa loob bago tayo mag-multiply. So, that's distributive property. Next we have is identity property. So, again, meron tayong identity property para sa addition. Meron din tayong identity property para sa multiplication. So, para sa addition, we have a plus 0 is equals to a. Kung saan ang identity element natin para sa addition ay 0. So, yun sa identity element, na pag in-add natin ng 0 sa kahit anong real numbers, ang sagot is yung the same, yung itself, yung number pa rin. Okay? So, sa multiplication naman, so a times 1 is equals to a. So, the identity element for multiplication is 1. So, again, when we multiply 1 to any real numbers, the answer is yung number pa rin. Okay? So, that's identity property. We also have inverse property, no? So, in addition, yung a plus negative a is equals to 0. So, when we say inverse property, so when you add number to its additive inverse, the answer is 0. So, when you say additive inverse, yung kabaliktaran na sign niya. So, if our number is positive, the additive inverse is negative. And if our number is negative, of course, the additive inverse is positive. As long as the answer, when you add them, is 0, so that's the additive inverse. So, para naman sa multiplication, so a times 1 over a is equal to 1. So, when you multiply a number to its multiplicative inverse, the answer is 1. So, when you say multiplicative inverse, ito naman yung reciprocal ng ating number. So, if our number is a whole number, the reciprocal is a fraction, kung saan the numerator is 1. Okay, so when you multiply it, the answer is 1. So finally, we have the zero property. So again, we have that for addition and for multiplication. So, for the zero property, a plus 0 is equal to a. So, it only states na kapag nag-add tayo ng 0 to any number, the answer is always the number itself. Okay, so, and also, sa multiplication, so, a times 0 is equal to 0. So, the zero property na multiplication, when we multiply 0 to any number, the answer is always 0. So, that's zero property. So, makita natin, iba yung effect ng zero property sa addition, iba naman siya sa multiplication. So, you will notice na yung properties natin, meron siya for addition and multiplication. However, hindi siya applicable sa subtraction and division. So, we should be very careful when we do that. So, especially the commutative, the associative property, walang ganon sa subtraction and division. Only with addition and multiplication. So, yung mga properties of real numbers na diniscuss natin ay magagamit natin yan para ma-determine natin yung order o yung pagkakasunod-sunod kapag nagsisimplify na tayo ng isang mathematical expression or even when we solve equation. No? So, also, pwede natin siyang gamitin bilang reason kapag nagsusulat tayo ng proof and also kapag nagsasolve ng problem. So, yun yung gamit ng ating mga properties. Alam ko marami pang properties ang dapat natin pag-aralan pero hanggang dito muna tayo. Salamat sa pagsama niyo sa akin sa pag-aaral ng properties ng real numbers. Sana may natutunan kayo. So, hanggang sa muli!